Hey YouTube, Peter here, back with another kicking comic book video. It's not really a comic book collection update, because these aren't my comics. Just some stuff I read and wanted to tell you about. These are my friend's comics. I gave him my Scarlet Spider stuff that had what did it have? Yeah, it was Scarlet Spider, along with all the Minimum Carnage stuff, which is Minimum Carnage one-shots, and Venom, and also Superior Spider-Man Team-Up, and New Warriors. I lent him all that, you know, the New Warriors that's currently going on. I have up to issue 5. Missing issue 2, though, which kind of stinks. And he lent me all this stuff. You're about to see all it. It's all Spider-Man stuff. Just going to go ahead and say lots of greatness. He lent me the Superior Carnage, not 1 and 2 though, because one day we just sat at his house and read comics, and I read number 1 then, didn't read number 2 because he didn't have it. I found it for him one day at a comic shop, picked it up for him. You might have seen that in a comic book collection update if you saw those, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But I read those, and so I read number 3. It was cool. Superior Carnage looks cool. Glad they didn't keep that forever though. But I got 3. And also you got 4 here, which is a cool cover art. I kind of dig that. Superior. I thought Superior was really cool. I really dug it. And our wizard there. It was a cool story. It brought Cletus Cassidy back, because, you know, after his little incident in Minimum Carnage, where Scarlet Spider lobotomized him and stuff, the whole point of Superior Carnage was to get as much out of Superior Spider-Man as possible, first off, and second, really to get Cletus Cassidy back. Also fixed our little friend up here, little wizard there, fixed him up too. And there's also the annual, which I didn't think was too big of a deal. It was cool, I guess. This is all the stuff reinstating Cletus Cassidy, and this is other stuff, really. But this is the part that really reinstates Cletus Cassidy. Then you have Deadpool vs. Carnage, which is right after that. Of course, you know, 2 of Marvel's most popular psychopaths going at it. Only issue 1 is here. It's the only one I've read. He has the rest of them now, but it was alright. I'm not the biggest Deadpool guy. To be honest, I kind of think Deadpool's overrated. He can be pretty funny, but I don't really have a feeling for him. I'm not really one for anti-heroes either, but I feel like he's a little overused now, maybe. And then Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. You got first printings on all these. And this is the complete first run of Ultimate Comics Spider-Man with Miles Morales. So it's all new Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. Remember when this started? It was a big deal. Everyone hated him. Everyone hated Miles Morales because he wasn't Peter Parker. Oh, boo-hoo. We still had Peter Parker in the regular universe. And sure, we went to Superior for a while, who wasn't Peter Parker. But he came back. We all knew he was going to. They said he was going to, so we got Peter back now. We're back on Amazing Spider-Man, and we still have Miles here in the Ultimate Universe. I really like him. He's really cool. It's nice to see some inexperienced heroes now, some inexperienced heroes. Because like in all the other comics I read, you know, it's all these characters that have been around for like 60, 75 years. You know? Batman and Superman, I read their comics. They've both been around for 75 years. I read a lot of Green Lantern, read a lot of Spider-Man, and they're all mature and stuff now. You know, not that Batman, Superman, and Green Lantern weren't, but Spider-Man wasn't for a while. But it's like, you know, it's someone who you can see learning. And I think that's one of the big appeals. Plus, Spider-Man's always awesome. And it's really emotional. In the Ultimate Comics, they can pretty much just do whatever they want. I think it's an experiment universe for them, really. But yeah, you got cool cover arts with these. It was really interesting. He got his powers from a spider at Oscorp. He got his powers while Peter Parker was Spider-Man. And the only reason he became Spider-Man is because Peter Parker died, of course. I have that issue of Ultimate Spider-Man. I have that one in my personal collection. Spider-Woman gave him a punch because he was wearing like a Peter Parker Spider-Man costume, and everyone thought it was in bad taste. Kind of was, I guess, but he was just trying to do the right thing. Little Miles, and I like the detail right there. You can kind of see his face under the mask. Pretty cool. But yeah, that Spider-Woman's she's kind of a bitch, I gotta say. I really like the Spider-Girl in the regular continuity. But he has this cool chameleon power. That's pretty cool. And he has that Venom shock. That's so awesome. If he would, remember he had that power, he'd win a lot faster. That power is the main reason he's still alive, to be honest. Got into a big scuffle with Scorpion. That's the ultimate Scorpion. He kind of tried to take over crime in New York, pretty much. And Miles' uncle's actually a villain. Wouldn't really call him a super villain. Well, I guess he was becoming one in the comics. But he was the Prowler. That's a dog barking, by the way. The Prowler, who was just this like master thief who had all these cool gadgets. And that's his uncle, kind of a big deal. And of course, his uncle was like trying to blackmail him, but not blackmail him into working with him, but, well, sort of with him. It's a little complicated. Like, he wanted Spider-Man, Miles, to, like, fight crime bosses and stuff. Like, he would tell Miles where crime bosses would be and stuff, and he'd want Miles to stop them so that he could take over. And, of course, Miles knew what he was doing, said he wasn't going to do it. And so he was going to tell Miles' father that he's Spider-Man. Well, Miles' dad hates superhumans, hates mutants, hates the Ultimates, hates all of them, every single one. All of them. There's even one issue where his dad says, "I love you more than anything, but if you were a mutant," and then he gets cut off. So, like, wow. Insane. But we'll talk more about that later. But his uncle ends up dying in an accident because his uncle was using all these gadgets he stole, and he didn't really know how to use them correctly. And Miles used his little Venom shock thing. They kind of overloaded, and his uncle died. So he kind of feels like that's his fault. Really big deal. There they are. Yep, I think that was it. I think that's one of the issues where they die. And there's one where he was working with the Ultimates. The Ultimates gave him that costume, by the way. Nick Fury gave him that costume. Aunt May and Gwen Stacy also helped him out and stuff. Gave him web shooters. I don't really like the portrayals of Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane in the Ultimate Universe, though. Gwen Stacy is like this kind of like a glam girl, and Mary Jane is a hipster, and I don't like either of them. To be totally honest, I really don't. I don't like either of them in this continuity. But Captain America is telling Spider-Man to stop being a superhero, and he proves to Captain America that he can kind of be one. And lots of stuff goes down. Captain America offers to train him, but he never actually gets to it. They never actually do it. And you have this United We Stand thing, because everything in the Ultimate Comics is pretty much just the Ultimates stories, and then everyone else's Ultimate Comics are kind of just sucked into it. No, it's the way it seemed to be with Spider-Man. Like, the big stuff that was happening with the Ultimates, he would just kind of jump in on. But, yeah, like, was it... I don't remember if it was Hydra or AIM. I want to say Hydra, maybe? Was trying to take over America, or America. And we had a .1, which was really important, but I don't remember why. I really don't remember why, actually. And he teamed up with Spider-Woman. She's starting to accept him more. Blah, blah, blah. He's stranded. Really like that cover art, too. Very cool. And then the Venom War started. I thought it was real predictable. Kind of knew what was going to happen. But it was a cool story. A reporter thinks she knows who Spider-Man is. She's wrong. She thinks Spider-Man is Miles' dad, but of course it's actually Miles, as I've said. And I'm just going to give you a big summary of the series for all this pretty much. Someone doesn't want her to print it because she's going to get them in trouble if she does print her story. And she's kind of just into reporting to be famous. So she hasn't really fact-checked or anything. She just thinks if she does an article with the true identity of Spider-Man, then she'll be famous. And she would be. Until they figured out that wasn't Spider-Man, and etc. Be pretty dumb. But, once again, you know, Venom shows up and kills her and takes all her stuff. Well, I thought it was pretty obvious that Venom was the scientist she was going to get in trouble. I did. I really did. I thought that's who it was. And that's exactly who it was, turns out. But, you know, Spider-Man's fighting Venom. Venom puts his dad in the hospital. And then Venom goes to the hospital to finish his dad off. Miles tries to stop him. And, you know, as any good mother would, recognizes that, you know, Spider-Man's build and his voice and everything. That's her son. And she tries to keep Venom from killing him, and Venom kills her. Well, Venom doesn't really kill her. She's killed in the Venom altercation by a stray bullet from a cop. Killed by a stray bullet from a cop. A cop shot her. She was just kind of killed in the crossfire. But that Miles still felt like it was his fault. And I kind of predicted her death too. Miles, that was her fault. It was a really impactful death, though, I have to say. Because she told him she was really proud of him. And then she told him never to tell his father. Before she died, told him never to tell his father that he was Spider-Man. So he quit being Spider-Man. Spider-Man no more. You know, lots of these Ultimate covers and stuff are like copies of covers from Spider-Man issues, famous Spider-Man issues, like that one right there. Spider-Man no more. Spider-Man no more. So quit being Spider-Man. A year or two later, I think, not sure about the exact time frame, Cloak and Dagger show up, who are very annoying, and I don't like Cloak and Dagger. The whole point of them showing up is so they can form the new Ultimates. So this is a cool cover art. I'm ripping off his skin, and there's Spidey underneath. And so he kind of has to team up with Cloak and Dagger and Bombshell and Spider-Woman. Yeah, Bombshell's not cool either. Apparently she's the daughter of a super villain. And she's on parole and stuff because her mom had her help her in crimes. Spider-Man No More went on for a while. And he was kind of out of practice the whole time. And they were figuring out what was up with Cloak and Dagger. And they kind of took down this big industry that S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually protecting because they had a weapons contract with them. And they didn't stop them even though they knew they were experimenting on children. Which is crazy. And then, you know, Cataclysm happened, where our universe kind of accidentally sent Galacticus to this universe. And they were trying to save people through the whole thing. Lots of crazy stuff going on. There are 3 issues for Cataclysm Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. I've only read 2. He only has the first 2. In the second one, Miles tells his dad he's Spider-Man because his dad will not let him save his life. And he tells him he's Spider-Man so that he'll let him save his life. And I don't know what happens after that because that's how that comic ends and I really want to read the third one. So, crazy. And then here are just a few more Cataclysm comics he threw in. This point 1 where the Vision goes to confront Galacticus and dies. She dies. While realizing she loves the Falcon, blah blah blah. The Vision. Never really likes the Vision, either version. So. And then, you know, more Cataclysm Ultimates stuff. Where they just kind of went to fight Galacticus. And we're really getting their asses beat the way I saw it. the first time. So, yeah, you know, that's really all the comics I got today, you guys. That's all I got to show you. Lots of cool stuff. Really enjoyed Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. It's already started back up. They started at Miles Morales, the new Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. And it's a cool series. I like Miles as Spider-Man. I got his action figure and everything. Really, really cool. Really, really dig him. This is a good series. You should get the graphic novels. Check it out if you want. It's really, really tight. Really tight. I very much dig it. And he's got that going on. And he's also part of the new Ultimates, as I said. And they're like a bunch of kid Ultimates. You know. It's him, Bombshell, Cloak and Dagger. Is there someone else? I can't remember if there's someone else. I know like Spider-Woman and stuff kind of supervised them, but guess he survived Cataclysm. Don't know about his relationship with his dad. I really want to know what happens, but I got more of my own comics to read and stuff to film, so I'll see you guys. Please rate, comment, subscribe, check out all the cool links in the description below. Links to Facebook, Twitter. We'll follow you back on Twitter. You can check out other comic book videos. We do comic book collection updates where I show you all the comic books and graphic novels I picked up recently. We do lots of cool stuff, and that's on this channel. You can also check out Super Friends Benefits, which is our gaming channel. We do lots of stuff with Jimmy Day 93 on there. We got lots of cool stuff going on with that, boy. Not to mention we got Godzilla and Gigan, which is like an action figure channel. Do lots of action figure reviews on there. And we do parodies also, like parody Godzilla and Gigan. And on this channel we have spin-offs of Godzilla and Gigan. One called Ask Godzilla and Gigan, which is where fans ask the characters from the show questions. And also a show called The Ultra Kaiju Brothers, which is another spin-off starring Ultraman and Rodan instead of Godzilla and Gigan. Lots of real cool stuff going on. We also have The Slender Happening, which is a horror drama suspense channel. And this is taking forever and I should probably stop. So yeah, see you guys. Just rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, as I said. And that's it. Thank you all so much for your support, and I'll see you later.